Hey everybody, this is Corey from Thought Soldiers. So I wanted to do a little update with what's coming up in July of 2019, as well as this very profound time with the solar eclipse that's happening tomorrow on July 2nd, along with the new moon and the upcoming lunar eclipses as well, and kind of what is to come in the month of July. So I've been meditating on the energies for about 2 hours now. It's been a very interesting weekend as far as things that arose and have been arriving, and these are kind of the visions that I got from my guidance and what to expect, and maybe a little bit of wisdom as how to handle everything. So first off being, it's time to stop chasing the carrot on the stick. This has been the most profound visual that I've been unpacking over the last couple of hours. And it's the recognition that the pursuit of happiness that a lot of us have endured as this kind of staple of existence of the, at least over here in America, the American dream of running after this ideal that once we get said thing, whatever it may be, whether it's the house and the white picket fence, the family, the perfect career, the right amount of money, that as soon as we get this gift, then the completion will occur. And the visual that I got is kind of, a cartoon character that's chasing this carrot on a stick, and he's pulling a buggy behind him with like a conductor or a driver on the buggy, whipping this animal toward, getting this carrot. And the visual I got was just stopping, finishing the chase of the carrot and just sitting there and letting it happen. And this is what it's kind of felt energetically, is as soon as I stopped chasing this carrot, I felt the conductor or the driver, whipping me harder and harder and harder until he realized that the more he hits me, I'm not going to run. And it left that opportune moment of the right circumstances where all of a sudden the wind picks up and the carrot blew towards me, and I got it. And that's kind of the recognition of what's going on, is a dive into ourselves, into our shadow, to really look at how we have created the reality that we live in this present moment, and what we can do towards changing the outcome of our fated cycles of existence we've been living in for a long time now. And so it's been a real call to dive in, and to really look at our beliefs, look at our shadow, look at what needs to be cleared in order for us to surrender to the energies that are arriving right now, so we can be shaped and molded into the being we want to be in order to create the life we want to create. And this idea of the chasing the carrot on the stick is that when we are running for something, so this idea, once again, in the visualization, if you can visualize this, we're running after this object in front of us, in pursuit of getting it. What we fail to recognize, because we've been living in such a fast-paced, non-mindful approach, and I don't mean recently, because there's some people that have been riding this ascension wave for a while now that have been taking a very mindful presence to life. But what I got now is that if you're still chasing kind of a third dimensional end goal, as far as reaching this magic point of completion of we get said thing and then we are complete, what we fail to recognize is that there's a lot more than just this single carrot on a stick all around us on the journey. And what really got me emotional was the idea that if we just take a moment to stop and smell the roses and go off the path for a little bit, you'll see that there are carrots all around us. It's just that they're rooted, and it doesn't look like a carrot because we've been watering these fields, and people have been watering these fields for a long time, but it's like the intuition draws us to slow down, to stop, and to go kind of just observe our surroundings and recognize that we're running after something that is actually all around us. And it's that abundant lifestyle. It's that everything that we've been striving for a long time to achieve in order to reach completion, that we can embody that complete state now within, as long as we go within and do the work. And the number that was popping up with this was 1010, which is, to me, embodying a new beginning by diving into the void. And this is what that, it's kind of a very interesting time, since, the new moon for me is always a time of manifestation, of creating, setting intentions. And it's strange how these energies are coinciding with this completion, diving into the shadow to clear in order to start a new beginning. At such an interesting time. We're living in a very, very a beautiful existence right now in this awakening journey. Though how difficult it is, it's starting to really. I'm really starting to understand the depth of the understanding of the programs we've been living in, especially following family ideals, which is this work hard, work hard, work hard, achieve, 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 and don't take, just keep moving forward and kind of burn the fuel tank out, and keep running on empty. And that's been a feeling I've been getting, is like, it's just this constant, constant, constant. And it's not to say that we don't keep striving forward and we don't stay persistent on our path and keep striving for things. But it's a call now to, instead of chasing the carrot and trying to go after the carrot, it's a more mindfulness approach of enjoying the journey and accessing all of our senses in order to really take in and observe and be aware that everything that we are striving for and running for and seeking and obtaining is actually all around us. It just may not look exactly how we want it to look, or what society thinks, whatever our belief is in what we're trying to achieve abundance-wise, whether it's love, health, healthy relationships, finances, career, so on and so forth. And when these waves come in, there's a call to stay balanced on the wave. And this is something I felt recently, was there was this energetic push that came in. And if we envision, a surfer, he pops up and he realizes he caught the wave at the perfect time. He's on and he's riding that wave to shore. The call is to stay balanced and not to get too tricky on the wave or get overconfident, as we could be overtaken, but to be mindful and to enjoy the ride. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now with this energy wave that is coming in, is recognizing that it's a time to go in and to really enter the void, to clean out the house, and to really kind of just slow it down a notch. Because I went from this very much so, if we look at the tortoise and the hare, I was someone my entire life who was the stagnant tortoise, who did nothing. And I swapped into a complete alternate way of living, which is very fast-paced, busy, 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 with no time for reflection and no time to relax and to reflect. And as we're seeking this balance of these waves that are coming in, it's a time to take on more of the tortoise in slow and steady wins the race, but also to recognize that we need to do this inward work, because our home is with us constantly. I know I'm kind of going into some deep metaphor and analogy, but this is way my mind interprets the visions I get in order for these energy updates. And so the tortoise, how slow moving he looks, as we know in the story, in the fable, that the tortoise ends up winning the race. And he's got a heavy load he carries with him, but it's because his home is with him wherever he goes. And that is that's a profound thing to realize, is that no matter where we go in life, our home is with us. And that's why we clear. And that's why we let this stuff out and we feel it, is because we're clearing out our home. Sorry, I can get emotional sometimes with stuff like this. Especially if you come from if you've lived a transient life or your whole life has kind of been never feeling a part of, or really trying to find that home. It's the recognition that we find that within, and that's the idea of this kind of this slower paced, more mindful approach to creating our reality, is that we are clearing all of this stuff because we're making room to settle in within ourselves, because we're being launched into a different trajectory. We're going somewhere. We're going somewhere, and as long as we've got that on our back, we've got our home with us, we're going to be okay no matter where we go. And another thing that kind of came to was surrendering to what is happening, and just being being taken with the wind, so to say, and letting, kind of just setting our sails up, and letting the universe work what it needs to in our lives to take us where we need to go. Because right now is a very profound time with shifting. It's a time where we are really changing and progressing and growing, and we don't know. Some of us don't know exactly where we're headed to, or exactly where we're going, and it's kind of just propping the sails and enjoying the ride, and not resisting, and letting things flow to make it easier and more balanced on ourselves, because some of us still fight to a certain level and to a certain degree with what is going on. We try to fight the wave, fight the current, head in a direction, but no matter where we're supposed to go, we're going to be going. And that's kind of the feeling is a surrender feeling too, and just letting this thing envelop us and do the work it needs to do, because it's going to be faster. Now we don't have to put in as much effort to clear and really dive into the journaling and the shadow work. These energies that are arriving are making it more effortless for us to do what we need to do in order to clear and to help not only ourselves, but to help the collective, and help to raise the vibration of humanity. And it's been the other day was another call to clear, not the energy body, but to clear my space. As you see, I cut all my hair off. The other day I kind of snapped, and I started to throw stuff away. And I recognize that these kind of snapping and clearing periods is because we're making space once again for things to arrive. And that's kind of the call too with the solar eclipse and the clearing, is that it's surrendering to the energies and letting ourselves fill up with all the nutrients we need in order to sustain this powerful month we're going to be in, the month of July. And it's been a very, very interesting day. I actually went to work and was just hit with this huge brick wall of energy that I couldn't break through. Lack of energy. I had hit this brick wall, just super tired, and I knew I had to go home early and I had to rest. And I came home to go to sleep, and boom, it was immediate. Here's what's going on. And the visualizations brought about this kind of this big release of emotion in finding the magic that is this world without having to chase after a goal constantly. And once we embody this thing, that we're going to be whole and complete, but rather embodying it now by playing with our world, by enjoying our visualization process, by using our self-care, by smiling more, by easing into things with grace and dignity, and taking a slower paced action in order to reap the benefits. Because, like I had said earlier about the carrot and the stick, is that when we stop chasing the carrot and we wait for that right time of that wave of energy to come through, or the wind will blow the carrot to us. And this is how this shift starts, is that we stop chasing and we let it come to us. And granted, there are action steps that still need to be taken in order to really, reap reap the harvest which we chose to sow. But it's acting at that right time, and it's a fine tuning process. It's something I'm recognizing. It's a lot like surfing. Honestly, I've never been a surfer, but the idea of when you catch that wave at the right time, whatever it may be for you, pop up, and you realize, I'm riding the wave. I'm riding the wave. Stay balanced and let it take you into shore, and to really trust that your intuition and your instinct is always going to take care of you. So if we look at it this way, this is a beautiful analogy I heard from Kyle Cease the other day, is that, if I knew that tomorrow at 4 p.m. I would be driving in traffic and that someone would slam on their brakes in front of me, and I had the potential of hitting this car, from now until tomorrow at 4 p.m., I would be thinking out every single way I could try to avoid hitting this car. But what happens when I'm driving and I see those brake lights hit all of a sudden is within 8 seconds, my instinct kicks in and I'm completely taken care of. And that's the trusting of this process, and really surrendering and resigning to the fact that we know intuitively and instinctively what to do when encountered with any situation, and to embrace the change that's happening, and to let the universe take us where we need to go. And we set intentions, and we let things happen, and we let things manifest, and we let things arrive. But what we're called to do now is to just enjoy the wave and enjoy the process, because this feels like it is kind of that last huge sweep of what is arriving, and to then now start embodying and starting to do our work to help the collective till it hits that point of critical mass where everyone starts to ascend. And I've been really hopping between a 3D and 5D reality, as far as the days of wobble, depending on work, the people I interact with, kind of that bridge between both worlds. And one of my intentions I'm setting is, every single day now, is I'm consciously choosing to live in a higher vibrational set point. I'm consciously choosing to live in 5D, which means that the programming, the constructs, all of those things, the fear, the resistance, the carrot on the stick model, is something I'm just choosing not to chase anymore. And I'm choosing to stay persistent and to stay on my path. But I'm taking a mindfulness approach and kind of turning the race into a running meditation. And that's kind of the overall theme now, is it's just a more mindfulness approach of living. And if all of us individually start to practice a more mindful approach to our interactions in our day-to-day existence, into the way we treat one another, to the way we treat ourselves, and really accessing all parts of ourselves to feel completely whole, the better this world is going to be. And that's kind of the idea of, once we embody this within ourselves, it will turn into a virus that will literally infect everyone around us, to where everyone is living a more mindfulness-based approach to their day-to-day. More awareness of their thoughts, their awareness of their interactions with others, the awareness of what they do and how that can affect another individual. And this mindfulness approach, which is just more of a heightened state of awareness of our programmings, our beliefs, and the way we treat other individuals, is going to get to a point where everyone wakes up and they go, wow, what have I been doing my entire life? And how did I get to this point of my existence where I'm chasing this thing? And I'm stepping on the toes of other people. I'm constantly competing when I could be taking a step back for a moment to help other individuals so we all can win this race. And it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time to be a part of this. And I'll tell you what, the more that you can embody this now and practice this now, when the mass starts to really, really waken up, you're going to have a golden opportunity to be at the forefront of Ascension in order to guide people in the way that you could be able to make not only a profound impact, but you can really you can capitalize on it and ride that wave. And that's kind of what happening is the wave is here, and let's be mindful of staying balanced and really enjoying this process, but playing with our universe too, and playing with the visualization. enjoying our connection with spirit and enjoying our connection with others. Because another kind of little theme that popped up in this visualization was everybody was a stranger at one point in time. So every relationship you have in your life right now, that person started out as a stranger at one point in time. And that's that when we go and we are calling in soul family and soul tribe, and it is time to start going out there and interacting more, recognizing that if you feel like you live in a world full of strangers, it's because you do. But when you take that leap of faith and get to know someone and harbor a relationship with them, um, they at some point in time they won't become a stranger anymore and they'll become family. And that's kind of to wrap this up with the carrot on the stick thing. Is this is a little quick story. This is what happened to me was, with my soulmate, with my partner. The deepest connection I've ever had with someone in such a short amount of time was because I stopped. I took a few deep breaths, and I let the carrot arrive. Literally, that's what happened. I had quit my job. I was trying to build up more of this business more and build up, my Reiki sessions and trying to figure out ways to live in a more 5D reality with, being my own boss, being more abundant, things like that. And I recognized that there was this magic gem in my life and to take this opportunity. And it was scary to engage with her and to open up and to start to kind of forge and fashion this relationship. But it is an amazingly beautiful process. And just only a few months back, she was a complete stranger to me. But I took this leap of faith, and I'm still continually growing this beautiful connection with her. And it's been a profound experience. And this is what I mean by stopping the chase, is that when you stop and you reflect and you take a deep breath and you let that energy come in, the carrot will come to you. And this person that was a stranger to me before is now family, and is now, a staple in my existence, and someone that I love unconditionally, and just one beautiful thing I got to manifest within myself, and within my reality, and being able to enjoy that process. And I wanted to share that because that's kind of what this July energy is all about, is just really kind of slowing down and accessing all of our senses, and really taking the time to surrender to the energies, to let them do their thing, and to recognize we're guided and supported. And if you need to take some time out to, take a few days to rest, do it. It's a fear component I live within because I still have that fear of, oh no, if I go home early or I honor my body, I'm going to lose my job, and, and all that fear component, that 3D programming. And this is what the surrendering and honoring ourselves is like, you know what? I am first, because if my company goes under tomorrow, I still have to take me where I go, and my health has to carry with me, and my wellness needs to carry with me wherever I go. Companies, jobs, money, all comes and goes. But the relationships and the memories that we forge with one another is what stays, and that is what is remembered. And when we think of a legacy, as far as, the big shifters and movers in society, it never was their money or their career that made them who they were. It was what they embodied and how they carried that on a day-to-day basis that kept the stories of them living for generations and generations and generations. And in this time, we're living in a legendary time in history. And the stories of what's going on right now will be passed on for eons and eons and eons in remembrance of this great time. And so the call is to kind of forget about the material stuff and focus on sharing the message, sharing your hope, and helping another individual to keep this story going of this profound time we're in, and what it's going to do for the generations to come, and how this is going to help our children and our children's children, and really how we broke through this shift in order to save humanity. And there's a lot of people that it sounds really weird saying that, out loud, and there's probably a lot of people who are unaware that watch this and go, these guys are smoked out and they're crazy. Well, let's see what happens in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30, 40, 50, on down the line, and let's watch this profound shift, and we won't be so crazy. And that's why I love to put out this content, is because I know that the drops that go into the pond today are going to affect generations to come, and that's why this mindfulness approach is key towards no fear-mongering, no hate, and towards raising and elevating and aligning to the love frequency, is because the words we drop today will ripple outward for eternity and are going to help this collective ascension. And that's a big part of this mindfulness approach too, is how we are treating other individuals and the energy we're putting out there, because what we put out will come back to us, and it'll exist for a very, very long time. So I'm consciously choosing to drop the love frequency as much as possible and to throw that energy out there, because whatever I throw out always comes back tenfold. And that's how we not only help ourselves, but we help the collective. So I apologize if that got scattered. Been reflecting on this for a couple hours now, and just kind of what's been going on recently. And when I channel, I just kind of let it all flow out, and hope it all comes into kind of one general theme at the end. Either way, I put it out there because there's probably some little bit of material someone got out of there that can help them on their ascension process. So anyways, guys, much love and respect to everybody out in the Webiverse. I appreciate you all for being present on this journey, and I appreciate everybody that's been giving me a lot of positive support and a lot of good feedback and reaching out with messages. It's really nice to know that what I'm doing is right, and that my vulnerability and kind of just putting my crap out there is helping some individuals. It's a nice confirmation that this is where I need to be, and I appreciate everybody with all their kind words and questions, and reaching out, saying nice things, but also asking for advice and asking for help. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve. I'm here to transmute and alchemize my experience and turn it into gold, whether it be not only for myself but for another individual. So much love and respect to everybody out there in the Webiverse. I will see you on the other side. Happy riding these ascension waves, and stay tuned. More to come. A lot more content coming out. All my links are in the description box. I've got Reiki appointments wide open. Got coaching appointments open, and more content coming out through the email list as well. So make sure to sign up for that and stay tuned for things to come. All right, buddy. I'll see you guys all on the other side. Namaste.